Time right now is 9:03 back here at Live Impact News. All right, so by now you know that Charlotte Mayor Lyles announced last week that she will be stepping down about a year and a half before the end of her term is out. So she's going to step down June 30th, and that ends nearly a decade in office for one of the biggest cities in the country. We've heard from numerous local and state leaders, including on the law enforcement side. So I want to bring in right now Mecklenburg County Sheriff Garry McFadden joining us. We are back in action for our Tuesday morning conversations. He is back here in the Live Impact studio. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, so you weighed in almost immediately with Mayor Lyles's announcement last week. And I find interesting, I want to just pull this up here real quick, because part of your statement said it can be even more demanding when you don't always have honest and intentional support, which can put your mental health to the test daily. And I felt, what are you saying there, Sheriff?
Well, you know, most people say this when we take office. Well, you know, you get paid the big bucks, or you should have known what you're getting into. I can tell you, when you take public office, you have no idea what you're going to get into, because you have so many critics. Everybody wants you to be on their side. There's so many sides you're trying to adjust to. You try to deal with social media, you try to deal with print media, and then you try to deal with the general public, and all of that, and nobody thinks about your personal, private life, how it affects you and your family, and the weight. You know, you have to be at every function, and if you don't come, you know, they're going to chastise you why you didn't come and why you didn't fix that pothole. And when you meet with the people and they are genuine when they're asking you questions, and 3 months later they believe that you remember that conversation in dealing with 45 people just at that event. So it is demanding mentally. Each week, myself and other sheriffs across the country have this joke we call roll call. We call each other and try to support them. One sheriff last night called me because she lost her mother. The day before, another sheriff called me. Well, I called him, and I reached out to him because when we had to arrest our deputy for domestic violence, 5 deputies within I said a 300-mile radius also had to arrest a deputy for domestic violence. And so all of these things combined on just you trying to serve is very complex.
Yeah. And I mean, you having run for re-election time and time again, and you said that this past election for you was quite draining for you personally.
It was. When you're talking about betrayal, you're talking about backstabbing, who you believe that is your friend, that is not your friend, and they listen to what others say about you, but without coming towards you. And, you know, just for me, imagine this. My first campaign manager was actually the campaign manager for one of my opponents. And then that pulled a lot of people to that side just to have a conversation with them. And so it's very difficult.
Yeah, I feel like that's in high school when you run for, you know, you run for politics there. So
middle
it starts
school.
there. Middle school even,
school.
right.
Middle school.
And so, Sheriff, you know, the announcement with her departure, your take on her legacy and what that means for public safety, which of course is in your department.
Well, public safety for anyone who comes into the office of mayor should understand public safety is number one. You can talk about roads, you can talk about housing, you can talk about all of that. If you don't feel safe on the road and if you don't feel safe in your house, that's public safety. And we have to talk about public safety. We talk about the light rail stabbing. We talk about, but we have very few conversation about the community violence of the continuation of homicides happening in our cities and robberies and everything else. Why I know that? Because I see the increase inside our detention center for these crimes.
Jennifer Roberts, former mayor, has raised her hand, as well as maybe several council members might be eyeing this seat. And now your camp is your handlers and folks there, team, getting some phone calls. What's the buzz from your side?
Well, the buzz from my side is we need to talk about public safety. If anybody wants the support of law enforcement, we need to talk about public safety and be true about public safety and have true conversations about public safety. That is the issue that we are dealing with throughout the county, throughout this nation. When we said who we're going to support, we're going to have to wait and see. But, everybody threw out some names the other day. I think 5 names came out the other day, and some people looked at them and said, and then some people may feel good about them. You have to engage with the public. Believe it or not, if it was my choice, this is what I would do. Have just a special election for whoever wants to be that the mayor interim. I think that would be the best. But for someone to select someone, that is who they select. But is that who the public wants?
Yeah, because this is 18 months or so that we're going to have to run this through.
This is going to be a short term for whoever's going to run that. 18 months is a long time.
Yeah. Would running for interim mayor be in your interest then, because public safety is such a priority?
It will probably crash the internet if I say that I'm going to run for mayor. If somebody says, would you do it? It's a friend of mine who jokes with me a lot. He calls me the mayor. And when this came out, he actually sent me a message and said, what do you think? That will probably shut down the internet if I said I'm going to seek that office. But if somebody wants me to do it, I'll be happy to do it.
Okay. Well, there you go. So there's that as well. You're open to
I'm open. I'm open for the challenge. No, jokingly. No, I love being the sheriff. I'm satisfied where I'm at. But we need to find someone who has public safety and true community engagement. Not during election season, not when you're campaigning, but know the needs of the community, all communities, every side of the city, and not just cater to one side of the city, all sides of the city.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing all of this growth and the coordination now between Charlotte City leadership, council members, the mayor's office, which is now we're expecting some instability and transition. Your department and CMPD, that has new leadership. How do you work together? How does this work in a transition of a growing city like Charlotte?
Well, you have to have honest conversations. And stop having surface conversations. I know myself and Chief Robbins have a great relationship. People still talk about how do we come together. Well, we were friends and we trusted each other, and so it was an easy relationship. It was an easy bond. We had no issues doing campaigning. And so then we both came from CMPD, so we are both going to take care of our home base where we cut our teeth for law enforcement. And so dealing with Chief Patterson is very easy. You will see that in the coming weeks and months. You will see us together. Our officers work very well together. I just got a great email from a traffic officer who was doing a traffic stop and kind of on a lonely road. And one of the deputies passed, spun back around, assisted her, and even take the person to jail, the detention center, for the arrest. So we're working well together. We hope that we'll be an example. And believe it or not, this is National Police Week. So you will see us together. You will see us working together. You will see us having conversations together. So if you're talking about law enforcement in Mecklenburg County, it's a great time for law enforcement in Mecklenburg County. All
right, let's do a status check, Sheriff. How is the hiring and filling in some of those open positions at the Sheriff's Office going?
We're doing well. Now what we're doing is actually hiring every 2 weeks. So we're not waiting 2 or 3 months to get this group of people together to hire them. Now we're hiring every 2 weeks. So staffing levels are getting better, but we want more. And we're going to have to talk about opening the detention center north. Why? Because our numbers inside our detention center are completely way beyond our bed capacity. Bed capacity at the detention center is 1,791. This weekend, or this beginning of the week, we are 2,031. So that's about 250, almost 300 people over our bed capacity. Also, we cannot even send them who have been convicted or pled guilty in court. 44 people are on the waiting list to go to what we commonly refer to as the Department of Correction, but it's called the Department of Adult Corrections, which means we have 44 people still waiting to be sent to prison.
Why is that number high?
Well, the number high from going to prison, 44, is they have the bed space, but they do not have the staffing to supervise these 44 people. So that's just in Mecklenburg County. 100 counties around the state are feeling the same thing if they're sending people to prison. Now, we can talk about arena law, we could talk about mental health, we could talk about all of those things, but we are seeing the effects of it inside a detention center. 2,031 versus 1,791. We are above bed capacity as we speak. So we are in conversation still about opening our detention center for our capacity and maybe others.
All right, so Jail North is one of those solutions that you're seeking and still trying to work out. What needs to happen in order for that facility to be made available?
Well, if the juvenile detention center wants to be open that everybody's talking about and everybody's having a conversation, funding. The state has the money, but do they want to fund Mecklenburg County Juvenile Detention Center? We can talk about it every day. It is very political. If you have the funding and you talk about it, why don't you adjust the funding to support Mecklenburg County? Now, another entity is coming on board. Our own staff needs more space. Our own capacity is at the limit. So we're talking about opening the detention center for our capacity to house more people. Why is that? Because we are above capacity inside a detention center. So we're looking at the staffing levels now. We're wanting more people to apply. We're open every day. You can go on the website, mecsheriff.com, and apply. But we're looking for staffing, and we're going to continue to seek staffing to reopen the Jail North, as commonly referred to.
All right, and ideally, what is the time frame to get that up if it would be funded today?
I want it open this year. So I want to be up and running this year. We should have a great Christmas present, but we want to have it up and running this year. Why is it easy for us? Staffing would be the number one issue, but our facility is inspected and up and running every day with no one in it. Lights on, water on, and it has to be inspected every month. So we have staff out there now making sure that it is always ready to push the button. So, we talk about dusting it off, getting it up and running. It's not a hard thing to do. It's just staffing will be the issue.
All right. Speaking of staffing, of course, one of your new staff members, you mentioned him, Chief Deputy Ricky Robbins, who was also your opponent in the March election. And so he has 1 full month under his belt now. And you said that you're friends. How is it going as far as the workplace?
You're going to always see me smile and laugh because we talk in the afternoon, we talk midday, we just talk twice a day already. And so we work well together. He's taken on a huge load inside of the sheriff's office. Of course, there's a learning curve from one aspect of law enforcement to the next, but I can tell you he's eager to learn. He's made his own adjustments. He calls me when he's making a decision. So me and the chief deputy are working well together. I'm always going to smile and laugh because when we get together, we always have a project. And then he takes so much off of me as the sheriff to do other things that we need to do administratively and also locally and nationally. But it is working well together. It's like he's been working there from day one when I got there. So it is a great relationship. It's a great working atmosphere in the office. And what we're trying to tell people, this is the way it is supposed to be inside the detention center or working in law enforcement. We don't have a problem. We're not stepping on each other's toes. We're not pushing each other away. We're working well together. He's busy now on a call, and I actually text him saying, I'm jumping off this call, and so he's going to continue that conversation. So he's doing great.
All right, good. I look forward to when the two of you can get together here with us in the Live Impact studio.
We hope so, and people still getting us mixed up.
What?
People still believe I'm him and he believes he's me. And so we have that running joke all the time, but it has worked well together. You will see him. He doesn't sit in the office like myself. He's out. He's taking care of things. He's making adjustments. So it is great. And so this is why I say that Mecklenburg County law enforcement is in a great position, and we are probably the model to follow.
All right. Well, there you have it. I'm going to leave it with that. We'll see you next Tuesday back with Sheriff Garry McFadden. Thank you for joining us, and we'll just, continue this conversation.
Yes. Thank you.
And you know what? And I'm going to invite our viewers to, if they have a question, just to let us know, and we can just sort of run it by you.
Sure. And if they want to email me questions, or we want to have these extended conversations from what you may have heard, we are open to those conversations. And I think that's important, because what people believe they know about the sheriff's office, it is not. And that's what Chief Robinson has learned also. It is much more than what you believe it is. Instead of the care and custody of the citizens, it's much more than that.
All right. Sheriff Garry McFadden, we appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you.